For Dexter Morgan, killing wasn't chaos, it was order. It was ritual. Guided by Harry's code, he chose his victims with precision, striking only those who were guilty beyond doubt. To him, it was justice, delivered from the shadows. But no matter how carefully he planned, not every kill fit neatly into his ritual. Some of his victims refused to play by the rules. They fought back. They slipped away. They lingered in his life longer than they should have, threatening to expose the truth he worked so hard to bury. And others weren't just names on a slide, they were personal. Family, lovers, even allies who crossed the line. These were the kills that haunted him, the ones that forced him to bend the code, to improvise, to risk everything. They weren't just bodies on his table, they were the cracks in his double life, the moments where the predator nearly became the prey. Tonight, we revisit the most dangerous, the most complicated, and the most problematic victims in Dexter Morgan's bloody career, the ones that almost unraveled everything. Jeremy Downs was one of Dexter's earliest tests. A teenager already caught in the cycle of killing, he seemed like a mirror of Dexter's younger self. But unlike Dexter, Jeremy wasn't guided by discipline or a code, only chaos. Their encounter was more than a hunt. It was a moral struggle. Killing Jeremy forced Dexter to face the terrifying truth. Not every monster can be reshaped, and not every kill would be clean. The ice truck killer case was messy enough, but discovering the killer was his own brother, Brian Moser, nearly shattered Dexter's world. Brian didn't resist capture like most of Dexter's victims. Instead, he tempted him. He invited Dexter to abandon the code, to embrace his true nature without limits. Killing Brian wasn't just about survival. It was the first time Dexter had to choose between family and the code, and the weight of that choice never left him. Miguel Prado wasn't just a victim, he was a friend, an ally, someone who knew Dexter's secret and embraced it. At first, Dexter believed he had found a partner, a brother in arms, but Miguel's hunger for killing wasn't rooted in justice. It was rooted in power. He became reckless, sloppy, and uncontrollable. When Dexter realized Miguel couldn't be contained, the bond collapsed. Killing him wasn't just risky, it was heartbreaking. A reminder that even trust was dangerous for a man like Dexter. Arthur Mitchell, better known as the Trinity Killer, was supposed to be Dexter's greatest challenge and his greatest triumph. Instead, he became Dexter's most devastating mistake. Trinity lived a double life of his own, a family man in public, a sadistic murderer in private. Dexter admired his ability to balance both worlds until he realized it was all a lie. When Dexter finally killed Trinity, it came too late. Rita was already dead, leaving Dexter with the blood of his own wife on his hands. Trinity wasn't just a victim. He was the man who proved that Dexter's world could crumble in an instant. Jordan Chase wasn't just a criminal. He was a celebrity self-help guru with followers, cameras, and influence. Unlike most of Dexter's targets, Jordan wasn't hiding in the shadows. He lived in the spotlight. Taking him down meant incredible risk. Every move Dexter made could have been exposed, every mistake broadcast. Killing Jordan wasn't just a test of skill. It was a test of how far Dexter was willing to push the code when the entire world was watching. Travis Marshall, the Doomsday Killer, represented chaos in its purest form. His murders weren't just killings, they were public displays, religious spectacles meant to shock and terrify. By the time Dexter caught up to him, Miami was consumed by fear. But when Deborah Morgan walked in on Dexter mid-kill, Travis became more than just another victim. He became the man who exposed Dexter's secret to the person he loved most. No victim caused more collateral damage than Travis. Asterisk, most of Dexter's kills were silent, clean, and quickly forgotten. A plastic sheet, a drop of blood, a slide tucked neatly into his collection. The ritual left no trace. But these victims were different. They didn't vanish quietly into the dark. They left scars. They pushed back. They shattered the illusion that Dexter was always in control. Some tempted him to abandon the code. Others nearly exposed him to the world. And a few struck where he was weakest at his family, his friends, the fragile life he built as his disguise. These kills weren't victories. They were battles, each one a reminder that even the predator can bleed. Killing was never just about ending a life. It was about maintaining control, keeping the dark passenger caged within rules and rituals. But when that control slipped, even for a moment, The danger was no longer just on his table, it was inside his own world. And in those moments, the hunter came face to face with his greatest fear, that one day, the prey might not be the person strapped to his table, but Dexter Morgan himself.